Hello, gentle listeners. Welcome back to The Unseen Word, the podcast where we explore the mysteries of life from ancient history to our personal struggles. I'm your host, and today we are talking about something very real, something we all go through, starting something with passion but never quite finishing it. If you are a full time worker or even a student like me, you know this feeling too well. It's a new school year, and right now we are all making promises to ourselves. This time I'll stay on top of my assignments. This time I follow through on my plans. But how many of those plans really make it past the first few weeks? Here's the question of the day. Why do we start things with so much energy only to lose that halfway? And more importantly, how does it affect us when we keep leaving things unfinished? Let's dive into that today together. Let's start with the feeling of new beginnings. It's pretty amazing, right? The start of a new school year, the excitements of fresh notebooks, the smell of new textbooks. You feel like you're about to take over the world. You write down all your goals. I am going to ace this semester. Maybe start a podcast, hit the gym, and read more books. All of us are doing this. Everything feels possible in that moment. But then life happens. Assignments pile up, social events come into play, and suddenly those shiny new goals start to feel like heavy weights. It's like what William James once said: nothing is so fatiguing as the eternal hanging on of an uncompleted task. That uncompleted task can drain your energy even when you are not consciously thinking about it. I had this happen with my podcast. I was so excited. I had topics planned, even wrote few scripts, but after a few weeks, I found myself questioning everything. What if no one listens? What if my ideas aren't good enough? And soon my podcast plans fell to the side. Sound familiar? So, why do we struggle to finish what we start? There are few reasons. First, there is procrastination, our good old friend. We tell ourselves, I'll get to it tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week, and then, well, it's forgotten. But procrastination isn't always about being lazy. Sometimes it's rooted in fear of failure, fear of judgment. How many times have you started something only to abandon it because you didn't think it would be perfect? We've all done it. Perfectionism is one of the biggest reasons we leave things unfinished. We think, if I can do it perfectly, I shouldn't do it at all. But as Voltaire said, perfect is the enemy of good. It's better to have something done even imperfectly than never finish it at all. Take Leonardo da Vinci for instance. Yes, the man who painted the Mona Lisa. He was notorious for starting projects and never finishing them. There are dozens of unfinished sketches, inventions, and even paintings he left behind because he kept striving for perfection. Even one of the greatest minds in history faced the struggle of starting and not finishing. As students, we face the same problem. You start the semester with big plans, thinking you are going to read every chapter, take detailed notes, and be fully prepared for every exam. But halfway through, you are lucky if you've kept up with half of your classes. It's the pressure to be perfect that gets in our way. Let's talk about the psychological impact of leaving things unfinished. When we don't finish what we start, It doesn't just disappear. It weighs on us every time you see the incomplete task, whether it's a project you didn't finish, a book you started but never read, or even a gym routine you stopped following. It's like a reminder of failure. Psychologically, this can lead to feelings of guilt, frustration, and even self-doubt. It's called the Zeigarnik effect. The Zeigarnik effect, it's a psychological phenomenon where people remember and finish tasks more than completed ones. So every time you look at that unfinished project, your brain goes, "Hey, remember this? You never finished." Over time, this builds up and you start doubting yourself more. Maybe I'm just not capable of finishing anything, you think. But that's not true. It's just the weight of unfinished work playing tricks on your mind. We all know Mr. Thomas Edison. This man, he failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb. But he didn't let his unfinished projects stop him. He saw every failure as a step closer to success. Edison once said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work." And that's the exact mindset we need to adopt. All right. Now, as we know the problem, how do we break this cycle of starting and not finishing? First, we need to stop trying to do everything. It is easy to get overwhelmed by all the things we want to achieve, especially as students. So, instead of trying to tackle 5 goals at once, pick one. Focus on that one thing and give it your best. Second, set realistic goals. We often set ourselves up for failure by making our goals too big. For example, instead of saying, "I am going to study for 5 hours every day," start with, "I'll study for 13 minutes. You will feel more accomplished when you achieve it, and that accomplishment will motivate you to keep going. Remember what Lao Tzu said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." That's all you need, one small step in the right direction. I want you to think about your school projects. You get assigned a paper or presentation and you immediately feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of it. But instead of tackling the whole project at once, break it down. Write one paragraph today, do researches tomorrow. Before you know it, you are halfway done. The key is to keep moving, even if it is slow. Let's see the impact of small wins. Here's the thing, small wins matter. Every small task you complete builds confidence. If you finish one thing, no matter how minor, it boosts your self-esteem and makes you feel capable of more. It's like a chain of reaction. When you see progress, you are motivated to keep going. Look at Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes of all time. She didn't become a tennis legend overnight. It was years of small wins, incremental progress, and staying focused on her goals. She once said, "I don't like to lose at anything, yet I've grown most, not from victories, but from setbacks." Her small wins built her confidence and carried her through the challenges. Finishing even small tasks like reading one chapter of a book or finally submitting that assignment gives you that momentum. It might seem minor in the grand scheme of things, but it's those little steps that keep us going. Staying motivated and achieving goals, especially at the start of a new school year, is about balancing ambition with realism. Here are some motivational tips and steps to help you and me break down our goals into manageable achievements. Number one, set clear, specific goals. Define your goals clearly. So instead of vague goals like do well, make them specific like get a 90% in biology. Break down big goals into smaller, achievable steps. For example, divide study for exams into study one chapter every week. Number two, start small and build momentum. Small wins matters. Start with simple, manageable tasks to build confidence. When you accomplish them, you will feel more motivated to take on bigger challenges. Example, on the first day, organize your notes or outline your study schedule for the week. Number three, create a realistic plan. Break your goals into daily or weekly tasks. Set realistic deadlines for each step. Use a planner or app to schedule small achievements and review your progress regularly. Number four, stay flexible. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's totally okay. Be adaptable. If something doesn't work, adjust your approach, but don't give up on the goal. Number five, reward yourself for progress. Celebrate every small achievement, whether it's finishing a chapter or completing an assignment on time. Reward yourself with something simple, like a break or a favorite snack, or I don't know. You are on top on this. Number six, focus on consistency over perfection. Aim to make steady progress, even if it's slow. Consistency is more important than doing everything perfectly. Showing up every day will get you much further. Number seven, track your progress. Keep a checklist of your small achievements. Seeing your progress visually helps maintain motivation. Cross off tasks as you complete them. Number eight, stay positive and patient. Be kind to yourself, guys. If you stumble, motivation dips sometimes, but what matters is getting back on track. We have always ups and downs. The most important is to get back. Remind yourself why you set these goals in the first place. Like, I want to write more scripts for my podcast episodes because I want to reach out international audience. Number nine, find accountability. Share your goals with a friend or a family member who can check in on your progress and keep you motivated. Having shared programs with your friends will help you stay motivated. Number 10, visualize your success. Take a moment to imagine yourself achieving your goals. Visualization helps to reinforce your beliefs that you can succeed. So, instead of setting impossible goals that can make you feel stuck or discouraged, focus on finishing what you've already started. You don't need to pile on more tasks or constantly push yourself to begin something new. Sometimes the best thing you can do is take a step back and complete the projects already on your plate. Be flexible with your timeline. Life isn't a race. You have all the time you need to achieve your goals. Start fresh or even begin again after a setback. What's most important is finding joy in the process and being content with the steps you are taking. It's okay if you haven't done everything yet. As long as you are moving forward, you are making progress. Don't let the weight of unfinished tasks create unnecessary anxiety. Prioritize your happiness and well-being. And remember that success is not measured by speed, but by how much you grow and learn along the way. So, as the new school year kicks off, let's look at this as a fresh start. It's a chance to begin again, to set goals, but more importantly, to finish what we started last time. Remember, you don't have to do everything perfectly. Progress is better than perfection, and small wins lead to big victories. We are all in this together, guys. So here's a question I want you to think about. What's one thing you are going to finish this year that you've started before? I'd love to hear about it. Send me a message, tell me your story, and let's motivate each other. Thanks for turning into the unseen word. Remember, no journey is ever truly finished. It's just a series of steps, and if you don't finish today, you can always start again tomorrow. I want you guys to share this episode with your loved ones and to remember them of the projects you have to start this year together, and share it with the ones who might find it helpful. Thank you for being part of this journey with me today. Stay real, stay focused, and curious. See you next time.